Hello to all of you out there. Today we've got another story from this book of Irish leprechaun stories by Barbara McCarthy. Today's story is called The Magic Shilling. Now, a shilling is a silver kind of coin. Now, you may remember that Jamie O'Rourke was the laziest man in all of Ireland, but Peter O'Day, in our story today, was the laziest man in County Kerry. The very mention of work made him feel ill, and he avoided it like the plague. Now, Peter had heard the stories about leprechauns, those crafty fairy shoemakers who know where all the wealth of the world is hidden. Each leprechaun also owns a magic shilling, and he keeps it in a purse. And although there is only a single shilling in the purse, no matter how often you draw out a coin from the purse, it is never empty. Now Peter had searched far and wide to find the lucky little leprechaun who would rescue him from work and provide him with enough wealth to live happily and carefree for the rest of his days. And one day, as he was walking leisurely by the shore of Lake Cara, he spied a little man sitting up on a rock. Now the little fellow was wearing a green jacket, and he had a red cap on his head with a long white feather stuck into it, and he was dangling a fishing line into the lake, and he never heard Peter approaching. Tiny cobbler's tools were sticking out of a bag by the little man's side, and Peter had no doubt that it was a leprechaun he had found. Silently he crept up to the rock, and grabbing the leprechaun by the collar, he picked him up and squeezed him tightly. And he shouted. The poor little man got a terrible shock, and he shouted to be released. "Not until you tell me where I can find some buried gold. I have searched for you for many a day, and you had better tell me, or you'll not live to see another day," said Peter, giving the leprechaun a shaking. "Well, way up north on Tory Island, I know for a fact that there is gold buried there." "Well, I know that there is gold to be had much closer than that," replied Peter, not wanting to be bothered with a long journey up to Tory Island. He also knew that leprechauns were very crafty, and he was worried that he might lose the little elf on the journey. "Would you let me go if I gave you a magic purse?" asked the leprechaun. Peter decided that he would settle for this, as the little fellow was wriggling in his grasp, and he would surely make his escape very soon. He took the purse, which was made of soft leather, and he peeked inside. There was a shiny silver shilling lying there. While his attention was diverted, the leprechaun disappeared with a hearty laugh. But Peter was delighted with his newfound wealth, and he decided to put his magic purse to the test immediately. He went off down the road into the town of Killarney, and he met with 4 of his neighbors, and he called over to the bartender and ordered the best drinks in the house for all. "Where's your money?" asked the bartender suspiciously, as it was well known that Peter O'Day had not a penny to his name. "No need to worry," replied Peter. "I'm a wealthy man now, and will not have to work another day in my life." Now his neighbors looked at him closely, wondering if he had lost his mind. Peter tried to dispel their fears. "Never fear, lads. Drink up. I have here a magic purse, given to me this morning by none other than a leprechaun. There's only 1 shilling in it, but the magic happens when that coin is removed, because another shilling takes its place. The magic will never wear out, and I will have shillings till the end of my days." Peter called over to the bartender and ordered a big dinner for himself. But the bartender was still suspicious, and he told Peter he had to pay for what they already had before he would serve him any more. "All right," said Peter. "That's no problem to me. And he took the shilling out of his purse. And when he reached inside to find another, he found that the purse was empty. The leprechaun had tricked him. A look of embarrassment crept over Peter's face when he realized what a fool he had been. There he was with an enormous bill and only a shilling with which to buy it. "I knew you were a lazy man, Peter O'Day," said the bartender, "but now I see that you're a liar and a scoundrel as well. Leprechauns indeed." His neighbors were enraged when the bartender told them that they would have to pay for the drink since Peter had no more money. They felt that they had been fooled into drinking more than they wanted. A fight broke out, and the bartender ran outside and called in a policeman who was directing traffic in the busy square outside, and the policeman carried Peter off to jail. And when he met the judge the next day, Peter was sentenced to work for 2 months at the tavern without pay. The bartender made sure that Peter worked hard, washing dishes and glasses and scrubbing floors. And at the end of the 2 months, Peter was released with calloused hands and a sore back. I can tell you that he was in no hurry to meet a leprechaun again from that time on. And that's today's story. Stay safe, stay strong, and read.